Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in live to Fleet Farm Arena inside the Tyson Event Center. My name is Braden Butler, and this is Sioux City Bandits football in the CIF as they get set to kick off the CIF regular season today against the Rapid City Marshals. Give a little background on both these squads coming into today's matchup. Before we get into that, though, it is Winnebago Youth and Family Night here at the Tyson Event Center presented by Ho Chunk Incorporated. This is a big night here inside the Tyson. If you can't get down here, join us. Thank you for joining us on the CIF Network for Sioux City Bandits football. Into the background on these two teams, both squads are 1-0 in non-league play. The Bandits got a 60-9 victory over the Tri-State Tridents last Saturday, and 2 weeks ago, 13 days ago to be exact, Rapid City got a 67-21 win over a non-league opponent as well in the Fargo Invaders. Just looking at some other benchmarks for them. Look at the league seasons from last year. The Bandits did go 9-2, falling in the semifinal round to the Omaha Beef of the CIF playoffs. The Rapid City Marshals missed out on the playoffs. They went 2-8 last season. These two teams did meet twice last year as well. The first time was in Rapid City. The Bandits took home a 45-28 victory. And here inside the Tyson Event Center, last time the Marshals were inside the Tyson Event Center, 77-7 in favor of the Bandits. Bandits trying to repeat that performance today. They want another big win to start their season. Rapid City Marshals looking for some revenge and looking to announce themselves as the team that finished second to bottom in the CIF last season. Try to announce themselves as a potential playoff contender in a league that looks kind of wide open on paper as we head into the opening week. Take a look at some of the other matchups that are going on around the CIF just to give you a background on where everyone is. The Omaha Beef are playing a non-league opponent as they are facing off with the Omaha Stockmen down in Omaha currently. Looking elsewhere around the league, the Gillette Mustangs are taking on the Southwest Kansas Storm as we speak. Try to get a live score update on that one as soon as I can. Also in action, the Salina Liberty as they're taking on, it's not telling me right now. We'll get that as soon as I can. But the Salina Liberty are in action as they are opening their CIF season as well. Let's look at some players who are going to be players to watch, players to keep an eye on in this contest. We'll start with the Sioux City Bandits. Number one at the top of the list is going to be the new quarterback, Taz Wilson, coming out of UAB in Limestone. He had 6 games played last year in the IFL for the Massachusetts Pirates, and when he was on the field, he put up some numbers. Above 500 record as a starter in that league in those 6 games. Went 60 for 100 in the passing department, 827 yards, 13.8 per completion percentage of 60%. Had a 17-5 Gio. He was also very good on his feet. 53 carries from the quarterback position last year for Wilson. 218 yards, 4.1 per carry, and 9 touchdowns. For those of you keeping track at home, that is 26 touchdown contributions in 6 games, an average of over 3 touchdowns in total per game. For the new quarterback of the Sioux City Bandits, who's expected to get the start today, Taz Wilson, coming out here from the Massachusetts Pirates of the IFL. A couple other players to keep an eye on for the Bandits is 2 big defensive linemen. It's 2 defensive linemen we talked at length about last week, and we're going to keep talking about them for a majority of this season, and that is the combined efforts of Dejon Emery and Claude Davis. Emery out of Arkansas State, Davis out of South Florida. Emery stands 6'3", 270. Davis stands 6'4", 270. Both of them had great games last week. Pair of tackles for Emery in rotation minutes in that exhibition game, just trying to get his feet wet in the league. He had 1 forced fumble on the first play of the game from scrimmage for the opposing Tri-State. The reason that the Tridents weren't able to get anything going on offense is because they couldn't let their receivers get more than half a yard down the field, it felt like, before having who is inactive today. But those two, Davis and Emery, really shined with their physicality on the defensive line. They caused problems all week for the Tridents offensive line and their quarterback. and it caused just barely any offense to really be allowed by the Bandits defense. 9 rushing yards total were allowed last week by the Bandits, 63 passing yards, a total of 72 and 9 points per game. You compare that to the Bandits offensive stats, who have the new man under center, Taz Wilson. 202 rushing yards in that game, 138 passing yards, 340 total, and 60 points. It was a big game for the Bandits last week, offensively and defensively, but now they step back up into the CIF as they take on the Rapid City Marshals. A couple players to keep an eye on from the Marshals. Wide receiver wearing the number 1 today out of Lindenwood, Kevin Chisholm, stands 5'11", 180 pounds. He's one of the most dynamic receivers in the league. He's going to be someone you're going to want to keep an eye on all night long. No matter which defensive back you are for the Bandits, you're going to want to clue in on number 1, Kevin Chisholm. Player to look at on defense for the Marshals is going to be the middle linebacker, Ducey Burwell out of Robert Morris, wearing the number 39 today. The 6', 240-pound linebacker in the heart of that defense is going to be crucial, stopping any runs potentially, as well as just covering the middle of the field in a zone. We know the Bandits have some electric wide receivers in Brandon Shepard, Damon Powell, and Fred Bruno active today. But he's also one of them. When he is active, he is electric. Jivan Brown will be active as a wide receiver as well in his place, the man who started at quarterback last week for the Bandits. We start to get some of our starting lineups, and now here see Xavier Spann, first man wearing the number 1 out onto the field for the Bandits. Another player to look at, name I recognize from last year when these two teams met, is Dominique DuPont on the defensive line, wearing the number 0 out of Virginia Union for Rapid City. 6'4", 248-pound defensive lineman. He's another physical man, but he's also got sneaky athleticism. I say sneaky, there's nothing sneaky about it. He is big and strong and fast, is Dominique DuPont. Could cause problems today for the Bandits offensive line. Only 3 offensive linemen on the roster, Daniel Small, Rondell Rutledge, and Rashad Mungro. So we'll see how that offensive line matches up today with the defensive line of the Marshals, led by DuPont. With a D lineman to keep an eye on from the Marshals, Antonio Thompson, 6'4", 340 on the D line, Daniel Buys, Jack Robinson, and Derek Millsap. One last thing to keep an eye on player-wise for the Bandits, Terrence Pegram is out. He was put on the 14-day IR recently, so he will not be playing today. So the lone running back listed on the roster, Drew Prohaska, will see potentially Fred Bruno and Damon Powell taking jet sweeps like we saw last week. Of course, Linwood Joyner was another guy who slotted in there, but as mentioned, out this week, inactive is Linwood Joyner. Looking at your active members of the defense for the Bandits, we Dejon Emery and Claude Davis, we've already talked about, alongside with Devin Groenhagen and Devin Bridges. Zach Slugger and Akel Beard and Braden Mintz all active as well. Mintz acting as a linebacker, acted as a wide receiver last week, acted as the kicker last week. I'll be big in that linebacking core for the Bandits. Obviously, Xavier Spann already out there, among others, that elite defensive backing core for Sioux City. Take a look at some keys to victory today for both of these teams. We'll start with the visiting Rapid City Marshals. Your key on offense for the Marshals is going to be strike first and strike fast. We saw the last time these two teams met right here in Sioux City, 77-7. The Bandits took a victory. Though there's been a lot of turnover on both teams since then, but you're going to want to go out and punch them in the mouth early if you're the Marshals on the offensive end. Defensively for the Marshals, you're going to want to keep the top on the defense. This has been a Bandits team that has liked to throw the ball down the field. They like them chunk plays. They had a couple of them last week, a 30-yard bomb to the man who just got announced here in the arena, Brandon Shepard, and another 45-yard touchdown pass to Damon Powell as well. So this is a team that likes to play deep down the field. It can take the top off the defense in a hurry. So it'll be something interesting to keep an eye on tonight. You got to keep that defensive shell over the top. You cannot let Brandon Shepard, Damon Powell, Fred Bruno, whoever on this team get out over the top in open space. Now looking at keys to victory for the Sioux City Bandits. Your key on offense, let Taz settle. His first game here in the CIF for the Bandits. He's got settled into this offense, was signed earlier this week. See how in-depth the playbook goes for him. But like I said, he is an electric and dynamic player, is Taz Wilson. It'll be fun to watch as he gets announced right here, right now. Wearing the number 17 today will be Taz Wilson. It'll be fun to watch. I hope to see him show out in his first game as a Sioux City Bandit. And on the defense for the Bandits, your key to the game is going to be to cause chaos on the defensive line. There's a reason my players to watch on the defensive end for the Bandits were Claude Davis and Dejon Emery. They are looking to wreak havoc on an offensive line for the Marshals. That is a step up potentially from what they faced last week.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's color guard is presented to you by Boy Scout Troop 186. Representing the Boys and Girls Club, their 3rd and 5th grade football teams, funded by Project Launch and Morley Thunder Wellness Center, would like to welcome them. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise now. Presenting our national anthem tonight, here's Rochelle Clark.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly serene, and the rockets ran clear above bursting in air, gave through the night that our flag would be there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Welcome back in here on the CIF Network. I am Braden Butler. Sioux City Bandits football is on deck for you as they take on the Rapid City Marshals. And a fan in the crowd that I heard just a few moments ago put it better than anyone else could. He said, let's get it on. It's time to go here in the CIF. These two teams looking to kick off their league seasons. Before we get into any of that, though, you have to give a shout out to Rochelle Clark. As I heard her name announced over the PA, she performed the national anthem today here inside the Tyson Event Center. 2 weeks in a row here in the Tyson Event Center. Some darn good performances for the national anthem. There's a lot of talented people in the Sioux City area getting out here to sing the national anthem, and you always love to see it. We'll see who's going to be walking out to midfield, who's going to be the captains, so to speak, for both of these teams as we go to the coin toss. A lot of people are getting ready. A lot of people are on their feet, moving a little side-to-side action in here inside the Tyson Event Center and Fleet Farm Arena. I'd like to thank you all for joining this evening. For those of you who joined late, I am Braden Butler. Reiterate some keys and players to watch in this one for the Bandits. We're keeping an eye on 3 players. Taz Wilson, the new quarterback for the Sioux City Bandits, signed earlier this week, played for the Massachusetts Pirates of the IFL last year, and in 6 games had 827 yards passing, 13.8 yards per completion, 17 touchdowns to 5 interceptions, 9 more touchdowns on the ground. Bandits to the Marshals. Reiterate once again, keys to the game. If you joined the broadcast a little late, welcome in. I'm Braden Butler. Keys to the game for both these squads, keys to victory, so to speak. For the visiting Rapid City Marshals, you want to strike fast and strike first. This Marshals team lost both games against the Bandits last year, the second of them ending 77-7, the last time Rapid City was inside the Tyson Event Center. And on defense for the Marshals, they want to keep the top on the defense. Sioux City Bandits have been known to hit chunk plays, passing touchdowns of 30-plus yards, 45 yards, 40-plus yards, all last week, going to Damon Powell, Brandon Shepard, and Braden Meintz. You want to keep the top on the defense. You don't want to let them get behind you. You don't want to let these Bandits in behind over the top. For Sioux City, on offense, your key is going to be to let Taz Wilson settle in at quarterback. His first game, signed earlier this week, getting up to speed with the plays and with his teammates, trying to get the timing down. Timing and familiarity with your wide receivers as a quarterback is so crucial. It's an underrated moment, or underrated aspect of the game. You're going to need to keep an eye on tonight. How will Taz Wilson's timing be with his receivers in Brandon Shepard, Fred Bruno, and Damon Powell? And on the defense, key for the Sioux City Bandits, cause chaos on that D-line, and that goes right back to Dejon Emery and Claude Davis, as well as Devin Bridges and Devin Groenhagen. We are ready to go here in Sioux City. Braden Meintz set to kick off. Kevin Chisholm back deep to return for the Marshals. Looks like Demetrius Davis back there as well. Kick bounces about the 8-yard line, bounces into the end zone, goes up over the wall after bouncing for a touchback. Demetrius Davis just lets it go out of bounds. We're ready to go. Marshals get this started first. They're moving left to right on your screen here on the CIF network. Bandits will be on defense. Look at the starters on defense for the Bandits. I see Claude Davis, Devin Bridges, Zach Slugger, Dejon Emery, Xavier Spann, Carlton Watkins, Brandon Wright, and Jeremy Costa. Tyrone Jones in at quarterback. I see Demetrius Davis and Kevin Chisholm lined up in kind of a wishbone in the backfield. Both of them split out in motion. No running backs listed on the Marshals roster as Jones takes the snap, design quarterback run up the middle. He can't find space. He's getting chased down by Claude Davis near the sideline, slips away from Davis, and gets the first down on the near sideline. He reached that ball just out past the 15. First down of the game, gain of 11 yards. Tyrone Jones making something out of nothing there. It really looked like he was getting stuffed at the line of scrimmage. He's able to slip away from the arms of Dejon Emery and Claude Davis. 1st and 10 for the Marshals as Jones breaks the huddle. Looks like they're going to run that formation again with Chisholm and Davis in the backfield. Listed on the roster as wide receivers. Both of them split out now in motion. Empty set for Jones. He takes the snap. Looking deep down the field. He's got Kevin Chisholm in double coverage. Overthrows Chisholm and everybody. Brandon Wright and Carlton Watkins were both in coverage deep over the top there. Jones and the Marshals wanted that big chunk play early to Chisholm. That's why he's one of the players to watch. Kevin Chisholm, so dynamic and electric here in the CIF from his wide receiver position. Four men in the backfield here. Quarterback Tyrone Jones on his left is Levon Macon as he takes the snap, pitches out to Macon on the left side, wrapped up by Slugger in the backfield. Jeremy Costa in there as well. Brings up 3rd and 13 here for the Marshals. Macon was in the backfield with Davis and Chisholm. Macon got that little pitch out. Zach Slugger snuffed it out in a hurry. Jeremy Costa in there to pick up the pieces as well. Big defensive stop for the Bandits. 3rd and 12. After the first play went for 11 yards for the Marshals, they've gone nowhere but backwards ever since. That defense is getting people hyped here inside the Tyson Event Center. Jones in the shotgun, wishbone pistol formation. Sends Davis and Chisholm in motion. Low snap, but Jones gets it. Design quarterback run up the middle. Tries to get around Slugger. Gets to the left side, right at the line to gain. He's going to be pushed out of bounds. They're going to say he got pushed out at the 25. Needed to get to the Bandits' 24. It brings up 4th and 1 here on the opening drive of the game for the Rapid City Marshals. We'll see what they do. Looks like there's no move to bring any kicker or anything onto the field. Tyrone Jones getting a play call from his offensive coordinator. Jones in the shotgun once again. He's got Macon on his left, Davis and Chisholm behind him. Davis and Chisholm riding out to the right. Handoff up the gut to Macon. Pushes him forward. No. Did he get there? He did. He just got enough. Got pushed in the back by Tyrone Jones as Jones handed the ball off, and that little shove probably propelled him forward, just getting enough for the first down. It brings up 1st and 10 for the Marshals at the Bandits' 24-yard line. 11:20 and counting officially here in the first quarter of this game. This is the opening game for the Bandits and the Marshals in CIF play. Both of them 1-0 on the season in non-league play as the Marshals defeated the Fargo Invaders and the Bandits defeated the Tri-State Tridents. Chisholm and Davis out to the right in motion. Jones takes the snap, looking over the middle of the field, has some times, fires off the chest of Brandon Wright. You can see Brandon Wright upset with himself, immediately hitting some push-ups. You see that a lot from this Bandits defense. They make a mistake, they immediately drop to the floor and give some push-ups. Brandon Wright very visibly upset with himself, dropping that one, just hitting off the shoulder pads right in his chest as it fell to the turf. Jones breaking the huddle here once again. He's in the shotgun at the 20. Levon Macon lined up right behind the offensive line. Chisholm and Davis in motion, got wide to the right of the quarterback. Jones takes the snap, low snap, fires over the middle of the field, has Levon Macon. Macon falls down for a moment, and then he's wrapped up by the Bandits. That's Brandon Wright making the play. Brandon Wright, the 5'10", 180-pound defensive back out of Midland, had 4 tackles and a pass breakup last week in the opening game against the Tridents. Brings up 3rd down again here for the Marshals. This one a little more manageable than their last one, a 3rd and 12. This one's looking like 3rd and 8. Bandits fans, the crowd coming to their feet. Trying to get loud, make it hard to call that play in the huddle for Tyrone Jones. Empty set for Jones. It looks like Macon and Davis going to be in motion. Jones takes the snap, looking right, has a man. No, batted away by Claude Davis. The big bear paws of Claude Davis knocking that one away from the defensive line spot. Jones had Kevin Chisholm on the slant route, but it didn't matter because Claude Davis was in the way. Brings up 4th down and 8 for the Marshals. They're going to go for it here again. Tyrone Jones gets the play call from his coach. Heading into the huddle here, trying to make something happen. They're going to run that box formation again here from the looks of it. Levon Macon on the right hip pocket of Jones. Now Davis and Chisholm sprinting out to the left. Fakes the handoff in the middle, does Jones. Now he's going to run up the middle, try to make something happen. He makes a man miss at the 10-yard line. He gets into the end zone. Tyrone Jones with the first touchdown of the game puts the Bandits down 6-0. First time this season the Bandits have trailed as they led whistle to whistle last week over the Tri-State Tridents. Marshals are going to go for 3 here from the 5-yard line. For those of you not familiar with the new extra point rules in the CIF, obviously you kick it from the 2-yard line for 1 extra point. You go for it from the 2-yard line for 2 extra points. You go from the 5 for 3. You can go for it from the 10 for 4. But once you declare what you're doing, you are stuck in that. So if the Marshals were to get a penalty here, push them back 5 yards, they'd have to go for it from the 10-yard line, but still only have a shot at 3 points. Shotgun here for Jones. Chisholm and Davis now in motion as Jones takes the snap. Forced to roll out to his right. He's trying to get away from Dejon Emery, and Dejon Emery rips him down from behind by his jersey. You're not getting away from the man that is Dejon Emery when he's got a hold of you like that. 8:50 to go here in the first quarter. The Marshals do strike first as they lead 6-0 after a touchdown run by Tyrone Jones. Jones was able to get shifty on the touchdown run, but he wasn't able to get shifty enough to get away from Emery on that one. See what the plan is here for the Marshals. There's no attempt to kick at all on that first drive, even the extra point, so we'll see who's handling the kicking duties for the Marshals. The looks of it looks like they've delegated that to number 54, Jack Robinson, a defensive lineman for this team. Robinson, 6'2", 280, wearing the number 54. Get a little fan engagement going on here before the kickoff. There's a couple of Marshals players talking to some fans in the front row here for the Bandits. See everybody kind of loose and relax, trying to maintain their energy. The Bandits do trail the Marshals 6-0 here with 8:50 to go in the first quarter. Tyrone Jones broke the scoring deadlock with a touchdown run. We're getting ready to get back to action here in Sioux City. You're watching Sioux City Bandits football here on the CIF Network. I am Braden Butler. Look like there's a switch to the active roster before the game. I see Asi Tapua down there on the field. Was listed as inactive before the game, but I guess that changed going into game time. Good to see him on the field, though. Tapua out of Briar Cliff, wearing the number 8 for the Bandits defense. He's out here on special teams. Robinson lines up to kick it here. Back deep to return for the Bandits are Drew Prohaska and Damon Powell. Robinson, low-driven kick, spiraling towards Powell, who receives it at his own 2-yard line. He's trying to go right up the middle. Gets tripped up by one of his own players before falling to the turf. Powell's down. He's hurt. Something you don't want to see here. One of your most dynamic receivers in Damon Powell on the first play of the league season, or the first kick return of the league season, going down with a leg injury from the looks of it. He's kind of reaching for that left leg. He did get a player shoved back into him. He is back up on his feet here in Sioux City. Got a little bit of help, but he is walking off the field on his own power. You always hope, best case scenario is it's just a stinger, kind of a shock factor for Powell, feeling that hit. Powell takes a seat. If he has to miss considerable time in this game, we'll see how the offense does. Taz Wilson in at quarterback. Looks like Jivan Brown and Fred Bruno going to be in motion. Prohaska split out wide to the left, Shepard to the right. Wilson takes his first snap as a Sioux City Bandit. He's going deep down the field, and Fred Bruno just overthrew him. That's what I mean about the timing, getting acclimated with your receivers. It's tough to do in over a couple days. Had Fred Bruno deep down the left side, just missed him. Taz Wilson was trying to introduce himself to the CIF in a hurry. Could have had it there. See what Wilson brings into the offense here. Looks like Wilson's going to go under center here. Daniel Small, the center for the Bandits. Prohaska, the deep back. Ball fumbled from the center on the exchange from Small to Wilson. That's another aspect of the game, is that timing between the center and the quarterback. It's hard to develop. And now the Bandits are backed up deep, 3rd and 13. Check that, make it 14. Yeah, chunk play here to get half of this back at least to make it 4th and manageable. Taz Wilson going to line up in the shotgun. Looks like Shepard and Brown going to go in motion. Prohaska on the right hip pocket of the quarterback. Bruno out wide to the left. Wilson takes the snap. He's got time, looking over the middle field, firing deep down the field, and Brandon Shepard slips and falls, and it's intercepted by the Rapid City Marshals. That is a pick for the Marshals defense. Now trying to find some space. He's ripped down by Fred Bruno. His helmet came off as well. That is a pick for Lakeith Murray, the 6'2", 185-pound defensive back out of Midwestern State. And the Marshals strike first, and their defense is the one causing havoc on the Bandits' offense. Not the start Taz Wilson wanted in his first game for the Bandits. Now we get a chance to see how Wilson reacts to adversity, how this Bandits offense reacts to adversity when they come back out next time. We're also going to see how this Bandits defense reacts after giving up 6 on the opening drive. Tyrone Jones in at center once again. Levon Macon on his left. Demetrius Davis and Kevin Chisholm farther behind him. Looks like they will be the ones going in motion, and they do, both of them to the right of the quarterback. Jones takes the snap, fakes the handoff, read option. He's trying to get space on the left side, gets away from Zach Slugger, meets Brandon Wright along the boards. He's pushed out of bounds, looks like just at the line to gain. They're going to give it to him. He's going to bring a fresh set of downs for the Rapid City Marshals, 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line for the Marshals. This is what I talked about the Marshals having to do coming into this game. They got to strike fast and in a hurry. They did it on offense, putting 6 on the board. And they did it right back on defense as well, getting that turnover. Tyrone Jones on the shotgun. Ball at the 15-yard line. Pushes the receiver to split out farther wide to the right. Levon Macon out wide to the left. Chisholm and Davis behind the quarterback, now motioning to the right, low into the left snap, but he gets it out. Caught by his receiver for a gain of about 4 there. That is Jaheim Bird Mix. Jaheim, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Either way, great catch by Mix there out on the right side. Brings up 2nd and 6 here for the Marshals. 5:46 and counting to go in this first quarter. They do lead 6-0 Due Rapid City here. The set's going to go empty for Jones. He sends Chisholm and Davis in motion again. Low snap. Bridges gets in the backfield, forced to roll to his right. And now Tyrone Jones is running free down the right sideline. It's another 6 on the board for Tyrone Jones as he gets into the end zone. And the Bandits, the fans, the defense, the players, the coaching staff are stunned as the Rapid City Marshals have come out here and hit them in the mouth to go up 12-0. 5:26 to go still in the first quarter. Rapid City is going to go for a 3-point try from the 5-yard line. They're going to bring in Nick Eilers to do it, the quarterback. The other quarterback on this team besides Tyrone Jones. Eilers, the 6', 210-pound quarterback out of Elmhurst University. Going to line up in the shotgun here with Chisholm and Davis behind him. Sends his men in motion out to the right. Eilers takes the snap. He's looking left. Now forced to roll to his right. He's going to be brought down in the backfield, able to get it away, but Claude Davis was there in a hurry. When he gets those arms around you, you're not getting away from Claude Davis. 12-0 your score here as the Marshals lead by double digits. Failed both of the extra point attempts here. 3-point extra point attempts that they have taken. See how the Bandits respond after everything that's happened so far. It's been an awful, terrible, no good, very bad start to the day for the Bandits defensively and offensively. See what the offense can respond here after this. Jack Robinson to kick once again for the Marshals. Looks like Fred Bruno going back deep to return. Damon Powell still on the sideline. Fred Bruno and Drew Prohaska back deep to return. I see Xavier Spann out there with Devin Groenhagen, Akel Beard, Zach Slugger, Jeremy Costa, and Asi Tapua on the kick return team for the Bandits. Robinson tees the ball up now. Getting it set just right. Referees letting them go there, start running. 5:26 to go here in the first. The Marshals are up 12-0. The Bandits getting set to come out of their second offensive drive of the game after this kick return. Robinson with the kick. End over end kick. Going to find its way to Fred Bruno at the 2-yard line. He's got lead blockers trying to get down the right side. He's upended at the 20. Gets forward to the 21, 22-yard line. Bruno's back to his feet, though. He's going to stay out on the field. I see Braden Mines out on the field as well. Devin Groenhagen out there as well. Looks like he's going to play on the offensive line with Daniel Small and Rashad Mungro. Braden Mines out there as a potential wide receiver. See Taz Wilson, the quarterback, Brandon Shepard, Fred Bruno, and Drew Prohaska. Those are your 8 on the field for the Bandits. As Taz Wilson's in an empty set, Mites and Bruno are going to go in motion. Wilson sends his men to the line. Takes the snap, low snap, fires quick, right side, finds Braden Mites. Gets down to the ground. Mites with the catch, able to go through with a hit too. He got popped as he was going through to the ground there. Good play, though, for the Bandits, just getting positive yards. There were no positive plays on that opening drive. This brings up 2nd and 3. from the Rapid City 21-yard line. They're trying to figure out, something came off of a Rapid City player's helmet. They're trying to see exactly what it was that did. Looks like it was one of the top panels on a Rapid City defensive back's helmet. That's Derek Dyer wearing the number 5 out of Seton Hall. One of those top panels on the helmet. Mainz in motion, handoff up the middle to Prohaska. Gets a couple yards off the right side, but there's also a pair of Fleet Farm penalty flags on the play. We'll see exactly what this is. Waiting on an official ruling here from the ref. Referee's still conferring as they go back to try to get that piece back on Derek Dyer's helmet. Back Tyrone on the helmet. And of course, he finds the Swiss Army knife Braden Knights 4-6. Irv Strobe coming out on the field. I think he's arguing that the defensive line jumped on the play. Flags went in the air. Drew Prohaska for the Bandits kind of threw his hands over to his. Might have to switch to a QB spy with the linebacker, not letting Jones get any space. Take a look around the CIF right now, the other games in action. Of course, we have the Marshals and the Bandits in front of us. The Line of Liberty are playing the Topeka Tropics currently. The Beef are playing the Stockman in a non-league game. And the Wyoming Mustangs, the Gillette Mustangs, excuse me, force a habit from last year, are taking on the Southwest Kansas Storm. So another set of fan engagement on this one. Try to take a look at some individual stats in this game. Starting with the Rapid City Marshals on offense, Tyrone Jones was 2 for 5 passing for 7 yards, but he's been doing his damage on the ground. 5 carries for 85 yards, an average of 17 per. And 2 touchdowns. His long of 31 is the touchdown he got on the last drive of the game. Looking offensively for the Bandits, it's a tale of 2 drives for Taz Wilson as he went 0 for 2 on his first drive, 2 for 2 on his second. He's 2 for 4 on the game. 24 yards total, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. His both catches have been by Braden Mainz for 24 total yards, his long of 16 and a touchdown, which got the Bandits on the board here. Add in the 3-point conversion for Mainz. He's been doing it all. In the rushing game for the Bandits, only 1 carry total for Drew Prohaska, ended in -3 yards. Defensively for the Bandits, Brandon Wright currently leading the team in tackles with 3. Devin Bridges has 2. Xavier Spann, Zach Slugger, and Jeremy Costa all have 1. Pass breakups on the game as well for Brandon Wright and Claude Davis. Mainz here to kick off once again. Chisholm and Davis back deep to return for the Marshals. High end over end kick, arcing towards the uprights, just missing him to the right. Braden Mainz was going for the Uno there. Of course, on the kickoff, if you get it between the uprights on the kickoff, that is a point for the kicking team. Mainz got one in the opening game last week against the Tri-State Tritons. He was trying to go for another one there to make it a 2-point game. And with that 15-yard penalty as well that would be assessed for the unsportsmanlike conduct by Derek Dyer, why not go for it? Why you run the risk of starting the game at the midfield stripe, or starting the drive at the midfield stripe. However, with the penalty, that kind of negates it. So you might as well try for it, as it looks like the Marshals will start at their own 12-yard line. Jones breaks the huddle. He's got Chisholm and Davis behind him. Levon Macon split out near side to the right. Wide to the left is Bird Mix. Jones sending Davis and Chisholm to the line in motion. Low snap, fumbled away by Jones. Gets away from Devin Bridges for a moment, but he's down on the ground. Claude Davis came in and touched him late. Jones kind of threw his hands up, but there's no guarantee that they were going to rule Jones down there without that contact from Davis. He's just finishing out the play 12-9, still your score here. This brings up second and long for the Rapid City Marshals. I'll say about second and 15 here inside Fleet Farm Arena within the Tyson Event Center. Jones going to line up with the shotgun again, making out wide to the left. Bird makes out wide to the right. Chisholm and Davis in the backfield, sends them both in the motion to the right side. Jones takes the snap, forces a step up in the pocket, tries to scramble Array, has some space right side, wrapped up by Zach Slugger, trying to get away, reaches forward. Looks like he's going to get to about the 18-yard line. Big run there by Tyrone Jones, brings up third and manageable. After that QB scramble, the pressure forcing Jones to step up in the pocket and able to scramble away. Kel Beard into the game on defense. Bridges, Davis, and Emery, the down defensive lineman. Beard, the lone linebacker. Right, Costas, Span, and Watkins, the defensive backs. As Jones takes the snap, looks, fires, quick left side, overthrows his man. Darius Cody was the intended receiver. Just a little too high and through the fingertips, brings up 4th down and 5 to go for Tyrone Jones and his Marshals offense. They've converted on a couple 4th downs already today. Jones getting to the line. Got the box formation again. Making on the left hip pocket of Jones. Chisholm and Davis behind him. Cody split out wide to the left. Jones sends his men to the line. Low snap. Bobbles it for a moment. They're bringing the pressure after him. And Dejon Emery gets the sack. His first sack of the season for number 15, Dejon Emery, the league leader and defensive MVP of the league last year. Gets a big sack there and forces the Marshals to turn the ball over on downs. It's going to give the ball back to the Bandits. What a play by number 15, Dejon Emery. He's hyped, the defense is hyped, and the fans are hyped as well. Everybody's excited when big number 15 makes a play for Sioux City. As Taz Wilson leads his offense onto the field. First and goal from inside the Powerball red zone. First trip to the red zone tonight for the Bandits. Of course, your Powerball red zone brought to you by the Iowa Lottery. First and goal from the 4 as Wilson breaks the huddle. Bruno split out wide to the left. Prohaska, the running back on the right side of Wilson. It's like Mintz and Shepard going to be sent in motion. Wilson sends his men, calls for the snap, hands off up the gut to Prohaska, tries to find some space off the left side, but he's going to be wrapped up by Burwell, tries to fight forward, but he's not going to get anywhere. Loss of 1 on the run by Prohaska. No, they're going to say he got back to the line of scrimmage, going to bring up second and goal from the same spot. Burwell was in there on the tackle for the Marshals. Wilson bringing the play into his team. Play clock under 20 seconds to go. Still plenty of time as Wilson breaks the huddle. Looks like he's going to line up underneath his center, Daniel Small. Wilson sends his men to the line. Snap, pitch out. Prohaska right side. Has some blocks. Puts a shoulder down. Gets popped, but fights for a couple of yards. Drew Prohaska gets maybe 2 yards on the play. Brings up third and goal here from the Bandits. That's going to do it for the first quarter of play here in Sioux City. The Bandits trailed the Marshals 12-9 at the end of 1. The Marshals came out of the gates firing, but the Bandits have put together a couple drives on offense back-to-back. Looking to put more points on the board. Scored a touchdown on the last drive when Taz Wilson hooked up with wide receiver Braden Mintz. I say wide receiver. Sometimes he's linebacker, sometimes he's kicker. He's always a player and an athlete on that field for Braden Mintz. But Wilson and Mintz hooked up for the first touchdown of the game earlier on for the Bandits. Now they're looking to put 6 more on the board. Big defensive stop from the Bandits on their last drive of the first quarter as well is what set the offense up in this position. Baumgart's Pet of the Week has been announced here inside Fleet Farm Arena. Murphy, looks like a little cat, presented by, was posted on Facebook by Travis Town. As a cat owner myself, I relate. I'm a big fan of cats. What can I say? Cats, dogs, fish. My mother has a bearded dragon, so yeah, any animal. I'm a lover of pets. Bring them my way. Get ready to go here in the second quarter. 12-9, the Marshals lead the Bandits, but the Bandits are knocking on the door of 6 as Taz Wilson relaying the play to his team as we get ready to start quarter number 2. Shepard's going to line up out wide to the right. Bruno and Mintz are going to be sent in motion. Prohaska on the right hip pocket of the quarterback, Wilson. Wilson sends his men to the line. Design quarterback run off the right side for Taz Wilson. Caught down at the knees, tries to fall and spin forward, but he only gets about a yard. Going to bring up 4th and goal from the Powerball red zone. Ball's going to be spotted about the 1.5 yard line here. Wilson breaks the huddle. Bandits are going for it here on 4th and goal. They trail by 3. Shepard out wide to the left. Prohaska, the running back. Mintz and Bruno going to go in motion. Wilson lines up with their center. Quarterback sneak trying to power his way forward, and Taz Wilson gets in there. His second touchdown of the game from the quarterback position. 1 through the air and now 1 on the ground. There's a little scuffle after the play for a moment. A couple Rapid City players are motioning that he didn't get in. Looking at the replay here, it's clear as day that he breaks the line in my opinion. 6 on the board for the Bandits. And the Bandits are going to go for a 3-point extra point play. 15-12 your score as it stands. Could be 18-12 if the Bandits get this, as Taz Wilson's bringing in the play from his offensive coordinator, Scott Jensen. Jensen took over in the offseason after Jared DeGeorgia retired. Wilson in the shotgun. Prohaska on his right. Bruno and Mintz in motion. Wilson takes the snap. He's got plenty of time. Fires over the middle of the field. He finds Braden Mintz again. More points on the board for Braden Mintz. With the second straight 3-point conversion is courtesy of that man. 18-12, the Bandits lead here in Sioux City. They got the 6-point advantage with 13:34 remaining here in the second quarter over the Rapid City Marshals. Bandits head coach Irv Strobing having a discussion with officials here. Scott Jensen now joining him as well. This Bandits defense gave up a couple chunk runs to quarterback Tyrone Jones on the first 2 possessions of the game. They really stood firm and stood tall in the last drive. So they forced a turnover on downs and gave their offense the ball at the 4-yard line, which eventually led to 6. Didn't quite hear what the officials stated. A couple of them are running down the tunnel right now, including the head official. We'll see what they officially report when they get back out here on the field. Braden Mintz to kick here once again for the Bandits. Kevin Chisholm and Demetrius Davis back deep to return for the Marshals. Other players on kick coverage, I see Antonio Pierce, Brandon Wright, Ossie Tapua, Zach Slugger, Akel Beard, Jeremy Costa. And one more player here. I'm trying to catch the number. I think that's Drew Prohaska, and it is. You see down on the sideline, Taz Wilson kind of wrapped his arms around the big shoulders of Daniel Small. Trying to gain that rapport with his teammates is Taz Wilson. Got to lead this team. He's responded well to adversity so far. There was a review for targeting on the 3-point conversion attempt by the Bandits. The officials rule no targeting on the play. Everything goes back to normal. But no, Taz Wilson and this Bandits offense, this whole entire Bandits team has responded to adversity well so far, going from down 12-0, scoring 18 unanswered to go up 6 on the Marshals with 13:34 to go here in the second quarter. Still plenty of ball game left to be played. Braden Mines marching out his steps. He's lining up short here, is Mines. He's going to do a small run-up, little pooch kick. Pooch kick gets to the end zone. Kevin Chisholm receives it inside his own end zone, tries to spin away from Jeremy Costa, but he can't, as Costa chops him down at the ankles. 18-12 your score here as the Marshals come out 1st and 10. Trailing for the first time in this contest are the Rapid City Marshals. It's either been tied at 0 or a Marshall advantage. 1st and 10 from their own 14-yard line. Tyrone Jones bringing his men onto the field. Jones has been electric to start this game, over 80 yards rushing on 5 carries, including a long of 31 on a touchdown run. Jones in the shotgun. Levon Macon on his right hip pocket. Behind him in the box, now in motion, Chisholm and Davis. Fakes the handoff to Macon. Read option off the right side. He slides down. He saw Carlton Watkins with a full head of steam coming at him. Tyrone Jones thought for his safety there. Sliding down. It brings up 2nd down. About 3 or 4 here. Brings up 2nd and 3 for the Marshals. The backfield empties as the men go in motion for Tyrone Jones, the quarterback. Takes the snap, looking deep down the field. He's got Demetrius Davis in the back of the end zone. Dropped by Davis. The contact from Jeremy Costa helped as well, forcing that ball out. Brings up 3rd and 3 for the Marshals offense. Davis had a step, couldn't bring it in, and then the contact between Costa and the wall popped that ball loose. Jones breaks the huddle. He's 2 for 7 passing on the game for 7 yards, 9 rushes for 83 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jones has been dynamic. They need at least 4 yards here if they want a 1st down. Jones, handoff up the gut to Macon. He's got some space left side, trying to get away. Cuts back inside, makes a man miss. Ripped down from behind by Xavier Spann. Spann was trying to rip the ball away. A couple Bandits players asking for holding on that play. Looked like Xavier Spann was almost going to rip that ball out as well as he was bringing down the running back, Levon Macon. Zach Slugger checking into the game. 2 linebackers set for the Bandits as Slugger and Beard are in. Watkins, Spann in at defensive back, as well as Brandon Wright. We got a timeout, however, on the field. Be a media timeout in here as well. Perfect time to take a look at your stats on the game. I know we just talked about Tyrone Jones' stats, 2 for 7 for 7 yards passing, 9 carries for 83 yards and 2 touchdowns. Levon Macon after that run has 23 yards on the ground with a long of 25 on that carry. Bird Mix has 1 catch for 4 yards. Macon has the other for 3 yards. On the defensive end for the Marshals, they're led in tackling by Derek Dyer with 3. Keith Murray and Tanner Stewart have 2. Murray also has an interception on the game. And then Ducey Burwell and Derek Millsap each have 1 tackle apiece. Switch over to the Bandits here on offense. Taz Wilson is 2 for 4 passing, 24 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick in his Bandits debut. The rushing game has not really been able to get going for the Bandits as Wilson leads in the rushing category. 2 carries for 2 yards and a touchdown. Prohaska currently held to -1 yard total on 3 carries. Braden Mines has caught both the completions from Taz Wilson, 2 catches for him for 24 yards and a touchdown, a long of 16 on the day. Defensive stats for the Bandits. Devin Bridges and Brandon Wright tied for the team lead in tackles with 3 apiece. Slugger, Spann, and Jeremy Costa each have 2, as well as Dejan Emery. Frederick Bruno has 1 on a kick return, has 1 on the interception return, and Kel Beard has 1 as well. 3 TFLs in the game for the Bandits as well. 1 for Zach Slugger, 1 for Devin Bridges, and 1 for Dejon Emery. That TFL was a sack, the first of the season for number 15, Dejon Emery, the reigning league defensive MVP in the CIF. We're back to action here on the field as Jones takes the snap, fakes the handoff up the middle to Macon. Meeting at the 2-yard line, both Watkins and Jones lose their helmet, but Jones gets into the end zone. We got some flags and a whistles on the play after the action. We can see the meeting again in the hole. Watkins and Jones losing their helmets. It was ruled a touchdown on the field. We'll see if these flags offset that at all. These are Fleet Farm penalty flags here. 10:51 to go as it stands 18-12 Bandits lead. That could be 18 all. This is ruled 6 on the touchdown. Referees still conferring. Great meeting in the hole by Carlton Watkins. Laying the pop on the quarterback, Tyrone Jones. Both their helmets coming off. Maybe made the hit look a little more violent than it actually was down on the field.
Who's on the play is touchdown. Illegal defense, number 22, moving at the snap. That penalty is declined.
Touchdown will stand here. Touchdowns will stand here for the Marshals. We're tied back up at 18 apiece pending the extra point attempt. It will be from the 5-yard line again as the Marshals are going for 3. This could put them up 21-18 here with 10:51 to go in the first half. Nick Ehlers on the field for the Marshals. Running back Levon Macon on his left. Demetrius Davis and Kevin Chisholm out behind him. They both split out wide to the right in motion. And a whistle. We got a false start on the offense going against the Rapid City Marshals from the looks of it. It's a Fleet Farm penalty flag. It'll back the Marshals up 5 yards, and they'll still have to go for 3, this time from the 10. That false start is going against the offensive lineman, number 50, Justin Calderon out of Chadron State. Three-point play opportunity from the 10-yard line. 18 all is your score as Chisholm and Davis are in motion. Low snap for Ehlers. He's going to be forced to scramble out to his left and throw that ball away. Devin Bridges and Claude Davis were both breathing down the neck of the quarterback, Ehlers. 18 all is your score as it stands with 10:05 to go in the first half. This has been an offensive showcase for these two squads on these last couple possessions. It shows the importance of these extra point attempts. The Marshals have 3 touchdowns to the Bandits 2, but we are tied here at 18 apiece because the Marshals are 0 for 3 on extra point attempts from the 5-yard line for 3 points. The Bandits are 2 for 2 on theirs. Getting 9 points per scoring drive are the Bandits, 6 points per scoring drive are the Marshals. That's how crucial this new rule change is. If teams can execute, it gives them an advantage. Robinson the kick here once again for the Marshals. We get to see Taz Wilson and the Bandits offense come out on the field after. Unless this is a house call by potentially Fred Bruno or Drew Prohaska. I've not seen Damon Powell since he went down earlier on a kick return. Robinson with the run up high, end over end kick, sailing towards Bruno, who catches it at the 2-yard line. Bruno cutting left side, gets away from one man. He's got space down the left sideline, across the midfield stripe, inside the 15 before he's pushed out of bounds by a couple of Marshals. But Fred Bruno showing how explosive he can be still in the open field. and is the franchise for the reason. Kicker Jack Roberts is the one that pushed him out of bounds at the 11-yard line, just outside the Powerball red zone. 1st and 10 from the 11 for the Bandits as Taz Wilson brings the play into the huddle. Mungrove, Small, and Groenhagen, the offensive linemen. Looks like Bruno, Mintz, and Shepard going to be lined up at receiver. Prohaska, the deep back. Looks like Wilson's going to go under center. Wilson's going to send his men in motion, takes the snap, fumbles the snap, and it gets away. Bruno trying to get to the ball, and it's going to be picked up by the Marshals. Whistles blew. Derek Dyer was able to get up with the ball and continue running, but whistles blew on the play. That's the second botched snap under center today for the Bandits. 18 apiece. No, they're going to say the ball hit the boards and went out of bounds before anybody recovered it, so it will remain Bandits' possession. Lucky break in an unfortunate set of circumstances brings up 2nd down from the 19-yard line. I think the Marshals want to review this. Head official explaining to the Marshals head coach, explaining to the Marshals coaching staff what happened. It will be 2nd down here for the Bandits from the Marshals 19-yard line, but you need to get to the 1-yard line for a 1st down, so you might as well just be thinking end zone. Wilson flips the play. He's going to line up in the shotgun. Prohaska on his right. Bruno lined up on the line of scrimmage. Mintz and Shepard out to the left. They get sent in motion. Wilson, high snap, able to bring it down. Scrambling up the middle is Wilson. Stiff arms a man, tries to get to the 15-yard line, wrapped up at the 16 and pushed backwards. It's going to bring up 3rd down from the 16-yard line. That was a miscommunication there between center Daniel Small and the quarterback Taz Wilson. Wilson signals his men to go to the line of scrimmage. It looks like Small took that as potentially the signal to snap the ball. Wilson and Small have not been on the same page tonight. I have the quarterback and the center. Do have a player out on a knee for the Marshals. Look at this, their starting linebacker, Ducey Burwell. So now he takes a seat at the 17-yard line. Check out what's going on with him. We check out what's going on around the CIF. Try to get some updates on some other games going on. We have a live score update from Salina and Topeka. That game kicked off around 6:30. Says that one is still 0-0. No stats yet recorded. Take the same between the Beef and the Stockman as well. Scores have not been updated yet here in the CIF. You know, the fan engagement segment here, it looks like Ducey Burwell is going to be taken off the field. He's going to go down the tunnel, get checked out by the medical staff. Not something you want to see if you are the Marshals. Burwell, starting linebacker, and a leader in the middle of the defense. We're all tied up at 18 apiece here with 8:14 to go in the first half. Take a look at the live stats in our game here in Sioux City, starting with the offensive stats for the Marshals. Tyron Jones, 2 for 7 for 7 yards passing, 10 carries for 87 yards on the ground, and 3 touchdowns for the quarterback. Levon Macon has 3 carries as well for the Marshals for 23 yards, a long of 25. So he was hemmed in on his first couple carries, but he broke big on his last one. Looking at the offense for the Bandits, Taz Wilson is 2 for 4 passing for 24 yards and a touchdown and an interception. Negative rushing yards on the day as well for the Bandits. 7 combined carries between Prohaska and Wilson. Prohaska has 3 carries for -1 yard. Wilson has 4 carries for -4 yards, but does have a touchdown on a QB sneak.
Braden Mines leading the receiving category, 2 catches for 24 yards and a touchdown. Wilson in the shotgun, Prohaska on his left. Shepard and Bruno going to be sent in motion as Wilson gets the snap. Looking right side, fires over the middle of the field. Braden Mines, his 3rd catch of the game, and he's going to get to the end zone again today. Braden Mines with a catch over the middle, breaks off a tackle and carries a man into the end zone. He sends that football into the crowd. Give it to some fans. Some young fans in some Ridgeview gear. Of course, Braden Mines is an instructor at Ridgeview. Place I used to go to school and a place my younger brothers currently go to school. It's always nice to see. Great moment for those young fans there from Braden Mines, giving them a souvenir in a moment they're not going to forget. And Braden Mines is having a game that people might not forget. So he gets us another touchdown here in the first half. Bandits are going to go for 3 from the 5-yard line once again. Wilson in the shotgun. Under 10 seconds to go on the snap clock. Bruno and Mines in motion as Wilson takes the snap, looking right side, firing to Brandon Shepard. Brandon Shepard gets popped going out on his route. 3 flags on the play. It's looking like it's going to be pass interference. One of the coaches for the Marshals arguing that it was uncatchable. Pass was high. Brandon Shepard, though, does have a decent vertical, and he does have a 6'3" frame and a wide wingspan. I don't think this argument's going to be won by Rapid City that the ball was uncatchable. And if it's not, the flags stand. Bandits will get another shot at a 3-point conversion opportunity. Waiting on the official ruling from the referee, but you got to assume it's pass interference with all that contact. And it is. Pass interference on the defense. The Bandits will go for 3 once again. We'll see where exactly they spot the ball. It's the second time on a 3-point conversion attempt that the Bandits have gotten, that the Marshals have committed a penalty. The Bandits are going to get it at the 2-yard line. Wilson going to line up under center here. Wilson gets the snap, handoff, jet sweep. Fred Bruno has some space, splits the defenders. He's in for 3. We have an altercation between Brandon Shepard and a Rapid City Marshals player, but it's broken up before anything can happen. Okay, see on the replay there, a little bit of a shoving match between a couple of players. That's just heat of the moment here in the CIF. It's physical. It gets a little chippy sometimes. These guys play with their hearts on their sleeves. Nothing too egregious, though, so no flags fly either direction. And Fred Bruno gets in for 3, and he puts the Bandits up 27-18. It's a 9-point lead for the Sioux City Bandits here inside Fleet Farm Arena within the Tyson Event Center. 6:57 remaining here in the second quarter. Braden Mines continues his hot start to the season. He caught his second touchdown, has his second touchdown reception of the game on that last drive. His 3rd of the season as he caught one last week as well. Taz Wilson, his favorite receiver might be Braden Mines right now. 3 for 5 is Wilson. All 3 of those caught by Mines for 41 yards, a long of 17 and 2 touchdowns on that connection between Wilson and Mines. Mines is going to take his short set here. Not going to get the full run up. Puts his leg through it. High end over end kick. Demetrius Davis fading back into his end zone to receive it. He does. He brings it out. Slugger gets away from him for a moment, but Davis is eventually brought down from behind by a combination of Drew Prohaska, Zach Slugger. Aussie Tapu was in there as well as Akel Beard. A lot of Bandits were in there. A whole gang of Bandits was in on that tackle. Now the defense coming back out on the field. Dejan Emery on the field. Claude Davis. You see Aussie Tapua, Zach Slugger, Xavier Spann, Carlton Watkins, Brandon Wright, and Jeremy Costa. These are your 8 on the field for this Bandits defense. See Davis there. barking a couple last-minute things. Let's get this going. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. I don't think I could say what Claude Davis said on the live broadcast. Jones takes the snap. Looking deep down the field. He's forced to step out of the pocket, scrambling out to his left. He's chased by Claude Davis behind him, trying to get to the right sideline. Gets the ball out of bounds, does Tyrone Jones. Big play there for Jones, getting a new fresh set of downs and getting past the midfield stripe. Going to bring up 1st and 10 from the Bandits' 23-yard line for the Marshals. And quarterback Tyrone Jones, who continues to get it done with his legs. Jones breaking the huddle. They got that box formation in the backfield once again. Levon Macon on the right hip pocket of Jones. Chisholm and Davis deeper behind him. They both go in motion. They go out wide to the left this time. Jones is over 100 yards rushing on the game after that last carry. Jones rolling out to his right, trying to find an opening. Fires over the middle of the field. Has Kevin Chisholm wrapped up in a hurry by Brandon Wright. It's going to be a first down, though, for the Marshals. Good wrap by Wright, but good job by Get Open for Kevin Chisholm. 27-18 still your score here in Sioux City, Iowa. 5:10 to go in the first half. Thank you for joining me here on the Sioux City for Sioux City Bandits football on the CIF network. I'll get there eventually, I promise. Jones in the shotgun, Macon on his right. Davis and Chisholm in motion. Jones going to fake the handoff, read option, right side, has some space, getting ready to get around the defense. He's going to find his way to the sideline, get out of bounds. Another decent carry there for Tyrone Jones. As I mentioned, he's over 100 yards rushing on the game. We're still just in the first half. Claude Davis and Dejon Emery dancing a little bit, working together. That's one way to build team chemistry. Devin Groenhagen joins him on the defensive line. Costa, Watkins, Wright, and Spann, the defensive backs. As Jones sends his men in motion. Takes the snap, kind of low to the left, hands it off to Macon. Macon's going to be wrapped up in the backfield for a loss. Zach Slugger was in there, Jeremy Costa as well. But Devin Groenhagen is the man who blew that play up initially. Old D-line blew it up, but Groenhagen was the first to touch the running back, Macon. Before Slugger came in and finished off the tackle. Kel Beard checking into the game. Jeremy Costa coming out. 2 linebacker setup, it looks like, for the Bandits. Slugger and Beard, the linebackers, as Jones breaks the huddle. Shotgun formation once again for Tyrone Jones. Macon on his right, Chisholm and Davis splitting out wide to the left in motion. Jones going to step up in the pocket, flip it out to his right side. That was a backwards play. Ball's going to hit the boards. It was a backwards lateral. There's going to be ruled a fumble on the play there. Probably lucky it gets ruled as a fumble. If that went forward, it was past the line of scrimmage, was Jones. It could have been ruled a forward pass for a penalty. It brings up 4th down from the 6-yard line. No, they're going to say he was still behind the line of scrimmage, so incomplete forward pass. 4th down here from the 6-yard line. 4th and 5, the Marshals can get a first down. There's very little real estate between the line to gain and the end zone line. So might as well go for 6 here. 4th down. Petraglia chips into the middle on this play as the Bandits lead 27-18. The Marshals trying to change that score line. Empty set for Jones. Chisholm and Davis motion out of the wishbone. Low into the left snap for Jones. He's going to force to scramble away from Dejon Emery. Flicks it to his receiver on the right side, Levon Macon. And that's 6 for the Marshals. Tyrone Jones, the pocket presence and just the ability to make something happen from the quarterback spot. It's just been something that the Bandits have not been able to handle so far today. Tyrone Jones proven to be one of the more dynamic athletes at the quarterback position in CIF. As the Marshals are going for 3 here, looking to tie this game up at 27. 2:20 to go and counting in the first half. Jones on the shotgun with Macon on his left. Davis and Chisholm in motion now to the right. Jones takes the snap, looking over the middle of the field, steps up in the pocket, now forced to scramble to his left, kind of flips it low, trying to find Kevin Chisholm.
but he doesn't get it. And for the 4th time today, the Marshals are held to no points on the extra point attempt. Bandits still lead this one by 3, 27-24. We're under 2 to go here in the first half. 1:53 officially remaining before the halftime break. Something you'd like to see, Ducey Burwell coming out of the locker room. Does have his pads off. Looks like his day is done. He was checked over by the medical staff here. So he's going to go back to his locker room now. Maybe get some of his stuff out of his locker. Bandits coaching staff talking to the head official once again here. As the Marshals have come out and proved that they might be something to deal with in the CIF this season. Especially with Tyrone Jones at quarterback, hard to handle on the QB scramble. In a league that has seen some great quarterback signings over the last week. Of course, Taz Wilson. It's been talked about already what he did in the IFL last season in 6 games for the Massachusetts Pirates. Also announced on March 1st, former Nebraska Cornhusker quarterback Tommy Armstrong was signed to the Beef. High end-over-end kick here, pooch kick. Going to be received by Spann at about the 14-yard line. Spann has some space up the middle. Fred Bruno, the lead blocker, down the left side as Xavier Spann has munched into the boards, excuse me. It's going to bring up 1st and goal from inside the Powerball red zone, presented to you by the Iowa Lottery. I'd like to thank you all for joining me here on the CIF Network as this is Sioux City Bandits football. Minute 26 remaining in the second quarter. This is the CIF season league play opener for both of these teams. Both teams come in 1-0 in non-league play. Rapid City Marshals defeated the Fargo Invaders 67-21 a few weeks ago. And just last Saturday, the Sioux City Bandits defeated the Tri-State Tritons 60-9. Taz Wilson going to line up under center. Prohaska the deep back. We got whistles blowing here on the field. We'll see what the call is. It's the 1-minute warning here in the second quarter. It'll be normal football timing once we get back return to play. With this break in the action, a reminder, it is Winnebago Youth and Family Night here inside the Tyson Event Center, presented by Ho Chunk Incorporated. Great time to look at the stats here on the game. Once again, we're talking about the individual stats often throughout the day, so let's look at some of the team stats. The Marshals have 10 first downs on the day, 8 on the ground. The Bandits only having 4. Marshals are only 1 for 5 on 3rd down, but they are 3 for 4 on 4th down. The Bandits 1 for 3 on 3rd and 1 for 1 on 4th. Marshals run 26 total plays for 158 total yards. The Bandits have only run 12 for 36 total yards, yet they lead this game by 3. Of course, a couple turnovers as well. Taz Wilson did throw a pick on the opening drive of the game for the Bandits as he lines up under center. Wilson gets the snap, fakes the handoff, bootleg to the right. Wilson fires back of the end zone. Looks like a miscommunication there. Not sure which receiver Wilson was looking for. So get a look at the replay here. Maybe he thought it was going to Fred Bruno in the back of the end zone, and Brandon Shepard thought it was going to him. It's the route congestion in the end zone here when you get down to these tight spaces in the red zone. Brings up 2nd and goal from the Powerball red zone, brought to you by the Iowa Lottery. The Bandits are lined up at the 6-yard line. Between the 5 and the 6-yard line, to be exact. 27-24, they do lead by 3 here. Wilson under center, Prohaska the deep back, Bruno and Mites in motion. Wilson maybe doesn't get the handoff off in time, so he's forced to run up the middle of the field, gets a couple of yards on the quarterback run. And offensive coordinator Scott Jensen is calling for a timeout, but there's a player down on the field for the Marshals. That's a defensive lineman, number 0, Dominique DuPont.
It's another key defensive player here for the Marshals, who is down with an injury.
Timeout for a defensive injury. Sioux City is not charged. Timeout.
Sioux City will get to keep their timeout that was called by Scott Jensen. His injury on the defense is going to cause a timeout here. Looked like a play where Wilson was supposed to hand off to Bruno on the jet sweep, but just the timing wasn't quite down. I can kind of see the left leg of Dominique DuPont gets rolled up on there by a defensive lineman for the Marshals. And DuPont's going to have to be helped off the field, not really able to put pressure on that left leg. Something you never like to see, no matter what team you're a fan of, is injuries. Especially to a player like DuPont, who we keep an eye on coming into this game. You got to hope that at worst it's a sprain, maybe a high ankle sprain, but you never like to see someone unable to put any pressure on their leg at all. So he's helped back to the locker room. Hope for a speedy recovery for DuPont for whatever it is, as we're getting ready to go back to action here in Sioux City. 47 seconds to go in the first half. Taz Wilson lines up under center. Hands off, jet sweep. Fred Bruno left side, splits the defenders. He gets into the end zone for the touchdown. 6 more on the board for Fred Bruno. That's going to put the Bandits up 33-24 pending the extra point. Bandits have been going for 3 consistently from the 5-yard line today, and it looks like they're going to do that again, potentially putting them up 36-24. Haven't seen either team try a 4-point play. That is viable from the 10-yard line. We could get into a scenario where we see Rapid City do that late in the game, as it seems like this lead kind of keeps hovering for the Bandits between 3 and 9 to 10 points. Wilson breaks the snap. He's going to line up in the shotgun formation. Prohaska on his right hip pocket. Bruno split out wide to the right on the line of scrimmage. Mintz to the right, Shepard to the left. Are they going to be the men in motion? Wilson sends him to the line, takes the snap. Chest high, fires left side, trying to find Brandon Shepard. Just out of reach of Brandon Shepard. Incomplete. Unsuccessful on the 3-point conversion. Stays a 9-point game, 33-24. Take a look at the individual stats once again there after that. Scoring drive by the Bandits on a jet sweep by Fred Bruno, getting into the end zone for 6. Starting with the offensive stats for the Bandits, Taz Wilson is 3 for 6 on the day for 41 yards. All of those passes were caught by Braden Mintz, who has 2 touchdowns on the day as well. Wilson has thrown 1 interception. In the rushing game, the only man with positive yardage right now is Fred Bruno on that 2-yard jet sweep, getting into the end zone. His first touchdown of the league season here in 2023 for the franchise. Short run up for Mintz, high end over end kick, drifting near the sideline, caught by Chisholm at the goal line. Chisholm trying to find some space. Spins off of a tackle from Jeremy Costa. Spun off a tackle from Brandon Wright. He's brought down by Jeremy Costa, upended more like. At the 14-yard line. Big hit there from Costa. Trying to get some blood pumping again into this Bandits defense. On the field for the Bandits defensively, Dejon Emery, Claude Davis, Akel Beard, Devin Bridges, Jeremy Costa, Xavier Spann, Carlton Watkins, and Brandon Wright. For those of you may be wondering where the big offseason acquisition Justin Gilbert is, he's inactive today. He was inactive last week dealing with an injury. Looks like something similar today. Low snap here. Jones managed to get it though. Fires right side, has the bird mix on the right flank. He's tackled out of bounds by Xavier Spann. He's pushed up against the boards. It's going to be a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 for the Marshals when they get back up to the line of scrimmage. from the Bandits' 21-yard line. Scratch that, make it 22-yard line. 27 seconds remaining here in quarter number 2. We're getting set for the halftime break here on the CIF Network. I'm Braden Butler. Thank you for joining me this evening for Sioux City Bandits football. They're hosting the Rapid City Marshals. 9-point game as it stands. Empty set for Jones. Macon and Davis in motion. Handoff to Macon. Jet sweep brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Maybe manages to get back to the line of scrimmage. Exchanging of words between a couple players. No flags fly. That's Calderon and Davis. Big play, though, for the Bandits, getting that tackle back at the line of scrimmage. Levon Macon had no running room there as he was brought down. 12 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. We're going to get a timeout, it looks like, from Rapid City. First timeout taken of the half by Rapid City. 13 seconds to go as they put an extra second on the clock, I believe. 33-24. The Bandits lead the Marshals here in Sioux City. The low band giving his defenses their marching orders. This has been a high-scoring game on both sides. If you're a fan of offense, you're going to love the CIF. That's what this game is built upon, though, is fast-paced, high-octane, high-action football. We're going to say Macon did get a little bit of ground to gain, so it's going to be 2nd and 9 here from the 21. Jones takes the snap. Going deep down the field, now going back to his left. Finds Levon Macon on the left side. He's going to be shoved out of bounds just behind the line to gain. Looks like Devin Bridges in there on the tackle. Bridges wearing the number 9 for the Bandits. Stands 6'1", 232 pounds for the man who was a former Villanova Wildcat. Third and short here for the Marshals as the Bandits look to stand tall once again. Currently a 9-point game, only 7 seconds remaining here in quarter number 2. Tyrone Jones bringing his men on the field once again in the shotgun formation. Been calling it the box so far tonight. Sends Chisholm and Davis out wide to the right in motion. Has to reach down to his left to grab the snap. Fires left side, overthrown. Souvenir for a fan over there in the stands. Brings up 4th and short. 3 seconds on the clock. Most likely the last play of the half here, no matter what. Marshall's most likely going to go for the end zone. Bandits kind of played prevent there, only sending one pass rusher, dropping the rest into coverage. See if they pull something similar here. No matter what, there's not really going to be enough time left on the clock for the Bandits to get the ball back for their offense. So this will be the last play of the second half. And the Marshals are taking too long to get the play, and the play clock ticked under 7 seconds to go, and it's going to be a timeout for the Rapid City Marshals. Their third and final timeout of this first half. The ground game has been what is working for the Marshals. 111 yards on the ground for quarterback Tyrone Jones, 24 more for Levon Macon, 3 rushing touchdowns as well for Jones. This is a Bandits defense that only gave up 9 yards rushing in their non-league opener last week against the Tri-State Tritons. Marshals have come out and shown that they have a dynamic offense and they have a dynamic playmaker at the quarterback position with Tyrone Jones. Defensively for the Bandits, Devin Bridges and Xavier Spanner tied for the team lead and tackle with 5 apiece. Brandon Wright, Jeremy Costa, and Zach Slugger each have 4. Dejon Emery behind them with 3, including a sack, which is a 14-yard loss when he got to Tyrone Jones for his first sack of the season. Jones in the shotgun, Macon on his left. Davis and Chisholm deep behind him. Kevin Chisholm and Demetrius Davis in motion to the right side. We get another whistle here. Could be for the Bandits. Coach Marlon Loban wanted to see what the Marshals had drawn up during the timeout, and then he's going to draw up his own defense to go up against it. Something I didn't notice here at first. Brandon Shepard's back deep here on the defensive end as well as kind of a free safety. Shepard does have great ball skills as a wide receiver, going up and high pointing balls. He's great body control as well. So he's someone you can use as kind of a center fielder here on the defense, just trying to cover the end zone. Kind of deter Tyrone Jones as well from throwing over the middle of the field when you got 6'3" Brandon Shepard. And you know how he is in the air going after the ball. Jones in the shotgun again. Once again running the box formation. Davis and Chisholm now split out wide to the left in motion. Snap goes to Jones. Got some pressure from his left side. Devin Bridges can't get there. Spins away. Kel Beard chasing him down. Now right side, Tyrone Jones trying to make something happen. So he pushed out of bounds at the 6-yard line. And that's going to end the first half. Jones managed to get away, make some magic with his feet, but not enough magic to get in for 6. 33-24 your score as we go to the halftime break. It's been the Tyrone Jones show for the Marshals, but the Bandits here lead by 9 as we go into the half. We'll have the halftime report coming up in a couple of minutes. You're watching Sioux City Bandits football on the CIF Network. Welcome back in here on the CIF Network. I am Braden Butler. This is your Sioux City Bandits halftime report. We've got about 18 and a half minutes until the second half action starts. It is Winnebago Youth and Family Night here inside the Tyson Event Center, where Sioux City Bandits is. Very nice show, a very nice demonstration was put on for us here during the break. It's very nice to see and just not understand, but get to see a little bit more inside of another culture, of a native culture, with the Winnebago coming in and Ho-Chunk buying 650 tickets to this game, providing them to Winnebago students and their families. Get a little bit more of a look inside different cultures and really just appreciate them as well. With the game in hand, though, here at the half, the Sioux City Bandits lead the Rapid City Marshals 33-24. Rushing has been the name of the game for the Marshals offense as we take a look once again. 189 yards of total offense for the Marshals. Most of those in the running game. Only 48 yards passing, 141 yards rushing for the Marshals. They've been led by their quarterback, Tyrone Jones, in the rushing department. He has a couple touchdowns on the game and a couple long runs as well, putting over 100 yards rushing. Levon Macon as well has made waves in the running game for the Marshals as he's got a couple carries for over 20 yards. Debut in a Sioux City Bandits uniform is 3 for 6 passing, 41 yards through the air. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. The rushing game for the Bandits is a tale of two stories as the Marshals seem to be doing whatever they want to in the running game with over 140 yards rushing as a team. The Bandits currently sit at a net yardage of 0 in the running game. 2 rushing yards for Fred Bruno and a touchdown on a jet sweep play. But between Taz Wilson and Drew Prohaska, the only the two to carry the rock for the Bandits. -2 yards between the two of them. Net gain of 0 for the Bandits. Braden Mintz is the only receiver in the stat sheet right now in the receiving game. 3 catches for him, 41 yards, along with 17 and 2 touchdowns. He's averaging 13.7 yards per reception. Taz Wilson, as previously mentioned, did throw an interception, did fumble a snap as well. Fumbled a couple snaps, but able to get both of them back. No fumbles lost so far for the Bandits. Defensively for the Bandits, Xavier Spann and Devin Bridges are leading in the tackle department with 5 apiece. Jeremy Costa, Brandon Wright, and Dejon Emery all have 4. One of those tackles for Emery being a sack for loss, a 14-yard loss to be exact on that sack. The big play for the Bandits there is that actually set the Bandits up for one of their touchdowns on the day, as it set up a first and goal from the 4-yard line for the Bandits on the ensuing drive. No other player has more than 1 tackle right now for the Bandits. Brandon Shepard, Akel Beard, and Fred Bruno all have tackles so far for Sioux City. In the pass defense game, a couple pass breakups, 1 for Claude Davis and 1 for Brandon Wright. Akel Beard's also credited with a quarterback pressure and hit on the game. Nobody's kicked an extra point yet today for either squad. Both teams have been going for 3-point extra point attempts. The Bandits have got almost all of them. The Marshals have gotten none of them, as they are 0 for 4 on extra point attempts from the 5-yard line. Gives them their 24 points in this game. The Bandits, in return, have gone 3 for 4 on 3-point three-point conversion attempts in this game, and that's what gives them that 9-point advantage here as we're moving down the tunnel towards the second half of action. Still about 14 to go until the second half. We'll be back in a couple minutes, talk about what needs to be done in the second half, take a look back at our keys to the game and keys players and see how they're all shaking out in this one, and also talk about a couple players on both sides who have left the game due to injury and have not returned. I'm Braden Butler. This is the CIF Network, Sioux City Bandits football. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Welcome back in here for the Bandits halftime report. I am Braden Butler. You're listening and watching on the CIF network on YouTube. Thank you for joining me this evening. The Bandits currently lead the Marshals 33-24 at the halftime break. We do have one score that has gone final in the CIF for sure. That is between the Gillette Mustangs and the Southwest Kansas Storm. Mustangs were victorious in that one, 30-12 over the Storm, getting a win in their CIF season opener. Still trying to get scores for the other games that are happening tonight in the CIF. Take a look once again at stats for this game in front of us. Tyron Jones, we've talked about him rushing, 117 yards, 9 yards per carry, 31 is his long, 3 touchdowns on 13 attempts. He's also 6 for 13 passing, 48 yards through the air, and 1 touchdown there as well. That touchdown was caught by Levon Macon, who has 3 catches for 17 yards. Jaime Bird Mix has 2 catches for 20 yards, and Kevin Chisholm has 1 catch on the day for 11 yards. And that is a perfect way to transition to the look into our players to watch from earlier in the game, see how they are doing in this one. Chisholm we'll get into that in just a second as we got a score update for Salina against Topeka in the fourth quarter of that one. Salina, the Liberty, the defending champions of the league, currently lead the Topeka Tropics 67-39. Last check, there was 12 minutes to go during that score update. Still plenty of time left in that game. We've seen that these teams can score fast in this league, and with the 3-point and 4-point plays, you can make it a game in 2 offensive possessions if you are the Topeka Tropics in that one. That's one of the things I enjoy about the CIF this year is just the idea of this rule change. It really brings in, like, you're never out of a game. You can never stop watching. You can never stop giving 100% effort because you never know 1-2 plays go your way, and you can put 20 points up on the board in 2 possessions. That's all it takes. But back to Kevin Chisholm with his 1 catch for 11 yards on the day. That shifts us into taking a look back at our players to watch. We'll start with the Rapid City Marshals. Chisholm was one of them for the Marshals. Of course, he has that 1 catch for 11 yards. Does have 2 kick returns as well, has 27 yards on both of those, his longest return of 14. Another player to watch for the Marshals was Ducey Burwell, who unfortunately has left this game due to injury in the first quarter. That is a recurring trend, unfortunately, for a few players in this game. Another player that was on my list to take a look at in the pregame, Damon Powell, also joins that list of players who are currently out with an injury, as he got upended on the first kick return of the game after the Marshals' opening touchdown. He got upended, and it was a leg injury for Damon Powell. Another player to watch on offense that we're talking about for the Bandits was Taz Wilson, who's played all right in his first game as quarterback for the Sioux City Bandits. It was very clear the timing wasn't all the way there yet between Wilson and his teammates. A couple bobbled snaps. Under center, there was one snap where Wilson was signaling for his men to start going to the line of scrimmage, and the ball was snapped at that time up off the face mask of Wilson. Luckily, he recovered the ball, and just everything that happened on the first drive of the game was something that is unfortunate to see. If you're a Bandits fan, as I just watched Taz Wilson throw from the back of one end zone all the way to his offensive coordinator, Scott Jensen, at the back of the other. The man has a cannon, that is for sure, and he has started to right the ship. He's got 3 completions on 6 attempts, 2 touchdowns, all 3 completions to Braden Mintz. Once he gets this ship going, once he gets in rhythm, once he gets the timing down with his teammates, this could be a fun offense to watch. It already is. I know for sure. Look at the keys to the game that Wilson has, game to Braden Mintz, have been over the up those safeties and those defensive backs. First drive for Taz Wilson, to say the least, that ended in an interception. But he's seen to right the ship since then, as I've been talking about. And defensively, you're on hands. Jack Robinson will kick off here. Dejan. Looks like Xavier Spann and Drew Prohaska are going to be back. To return. Fred Bruno and Devin Groenhagen on the receiving team as well, as Braden Mintz zap here. He's got the ball teed up. He's just waiting for the signal that he can march off his steps and get it going.
Low driven kick, end over end, in the middle of the end zone. That just goes back to what was 2-20. Chisholm spiking. Four in their contest. Last check, no score update. 10.
They got two. Prohaska wrapped up in the back by a couple Marshals defenders.
Broken play, but it